And welcome to a special edition of Top Story. We are live in Fort Pierce, Florida tonight. One of the scenes of that tornado outbreak that happened here in Florida. So many of those deadly tornadoes coming from Hurricane Milton. Florida's East Coast caught off guard while all eyes were on the West Coast as Milton neared landfall. Massive twisters wreaked havoc. Just behind me, a tornado hit this home here in Fort Pierce. You can see it completely destroyed it. The homeowners somehow survived. They were inside. They noticed something strange. They took shelter inside the master bedroom closet, and they somehow lived to tell the story. That homeowner just telling me moments ago, he wants to make sure the country doesn't forget about Fort Pierce, that this area right now is hurting and it needs a lot of help from all the states in this country. Right now, the entire state is reeling from back-to-back storms. Hurricane Milton carving a path of destruction as it moved from coast to coast. At least 12 people killed and dozens others injured. The storm making landfall shortly after 8:30 as a Category 3 hurricane in Siesta Key, that's just south of Sarasota. The hurricane battering the region with violent winds and quickly inundating the area. There was a powerful storm surge. We were caught in the crosshairs of the hurricane and had to run for cover. And the situation here in Sarasota is starting to turn dire. At first we had, okay, we're gonna go, we gotta go. Morning revealing Milton's devastation, the barrier islands taking the brunt of it, homes knocked off their foundation and streets filled with feet of sand. Tampa, which was bracing for the worst storm in a century, was spared of a direct hit, but neighborhoods were washed out and roads were left impassable. Area airports were hit hard, and in Sarasota, we saw some of it up close. The roofs were blown off hangars and planes were flipped. Officials are working to assess the damage and see when they can get service back up and running. In St. Petersburg, 100-mile-an-hour winds sent a construction crane flying into an office building, that crane demolishing parts of the building, collapsing onto the sidewalk. Hundreds of rescues unfolding all across the state. A teen found floating on a fence, a young boy clinging onto the back of a first responder, and countless others saved from rising floodwaters. And there is dramatic new video of the moment a destructive tornado tore through St. Lucie County. Power lines, debris, and trees launched into the air. Dozens of monster twisters caught people off guard as they whipped through several communities. In a moment, we'll hear from one man who spotted a tornado moments before it hit his home and it hit his vehicle. Video showing the destruction, cars flipped upside down, homes ripped apart, and residents left with a mangled mess. Florida shattering records for the number of tornado warnings issued in a single day. Tonight, nearly 3 million customers are without power. Officials warning it could be days, if not weeks, before the lights are back on. We're covering it all tonight from coast to coast, but we start with the ongoing search for survivors amid that tornado outbreak.
This is the terrifying moment a massive tornado ripped through Fort Pierce. Look at the debris spinning into the air.
Oh, violent tornado.
And this video capturing a twister in Palm Beach Gardens. Look at how quickly and violently it envelops this house, sending debris flying and blowing out the windows. Both tornadoes part of a deadly outbreak spawned by Hurricane Milton.
We are very, very saddened to see a tornado inflict such serious damage, including loss of life.
According to initial reports, at least 38 tornadoes touched down. The twisters flipping semi-trucks, tearing down trees, and reducing homes to piles of rubble.
This wind came through here. If Michael had not grabbed that door and closed it, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here.
In St. Lucie County on Florida's East Coast, a tornado tore through a retirement community, killing at least 6 people, including Debbie Kennedy. Her daughter telling us she was an incredible mother and caregiver.
This is a 100% rescue mission.
Today, Sheriff Keith Pearson telling us they are still searching for survivors.
And unfortunately, our death toll has gone up. We're up to 6 right now, but I'm hoping we're able to rescue some more people.
You ever seen anything like this?
Never, never. This is the last thing that I could expect. I don't think our community has ever seen anything like this. You know, we've been through hurricanes before. This was nothing like that. It's a complete devastation. I mean, cars, trailers, where there were homes, they weren't. They were lifted up, they were moved, they were crumbled.
Those that survived look like this. Forrest Melboff can't believe he's alive.
Truck started to roll over and it stopped, and then once again.
He's covered in stitches all over his arms and up his face.
Fingers. Two more cuts here.
He says he never saw the tornado until his truck started flipping.
Leaves started to fly, something hit the truck.
Pretty powerful to roll over your truck, right?
Yeah.
You'll never forget that, huh?
No.
HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital took in 15 patients with tornado-related injuries, some with broken bones, others that needed brain surgery.
Most of these are blunt traumas to the head and chest, abdomen, and some of them had other fractures because they got like hit directly by some flying objects and debris.
What did the patients tell you? Were they taken completely by surprise?
They were, and it was like they themselves, they didn't know what happened. Most of them, they just felt like a lot of wind hit the place, and all of a sudden something catastrophic happened for them.
This was an incredibly traumatic situation.
It is, it is.
Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis has provided search and rescue teams to this community. The sheriff tells me it's unclear how many people they lost because in that retirement community, a lot of people, it's their second home and they may have been away. They're snowbirds or they may have evacuated. So they're still unclear if they're searching for survivors. For more on the rescue and recovery efforts here in St. Lucie County, the communications director for the area, Eric Gill, joins Top Story Live now. Eric, talk to me about what happened here. I mean, I know it took your community by surprise. You were waiting for this hurricane, and then suddenly you have this tornado outbreak.
Yeah, absolutely. In a span of about 2 hours, we had 900 calls into our emergency operations center about the tornado activity.
900 calls.
900 calls in a 2-hour span. We had reportedly at least 12 tornadoes touch down. There were 2 that were confirmed by the National Weather Service. They'll have crews out tomorrow to confirm the others. And some of those tornadoes were massive. You've seen the videos. They look like they're half a mile wide.
Did you guys realize at the time what was happening?
Yeah, I mean, we were getting the alerts that were pushed out by the National Weather Service and the calls coming in and the videos that we were seeing. You really didn't know how bad it was until you had time, to the storms, to the thunderstorms and the tornadoes pass through, and you had time to go out and really assess.
When you see the damage like this, what do you think?